Just sharing this out to all and sundry. Welcome patrons if you're watching this on the replay. Boom. Oh, there's people. Hello people. I'll just get you set up. Hey Shane, how you doing, brother? Are you new around these here parts? Boom, that should be good. Hey Rosette, your name sounds familiar, I think. Shane, can you say hello to Constantine? Hello Constantine, welcome. Right, look what I got today. Gemma was in the city centre and she bought these chocolate covered strawberries. She just thought, she was in Tofu, which is like a vegan shop, and she thought, like, I'll just grab those in case there's someone that I've missed in terms of presents. She happened to pick them up, and then she saw our friend Sam, who done some of my graphic design, and he was one of my clients. He's a really good friend, and he sells art from this cart that he wheels around to, which gets around the old. I don't think you have to have a license because it's mobile, like really mobile. I might be wrong, or the fee is not very much. Anyway, so he does these. So he gave us one of these for Christmas. So that's pretty cool. Boom. Right, let's get set up. Oh, the computer just blew up. That's not a good start. How is everyone? How was your day? What have you been up to? I'm very snouty. Just find the stream on the computer magic so I can read your comments from before. Boom. How's the stream, by the way? Is it juddery again? Yes, a bit juddery, isn't it? Gemma, still juddery. What's happened?
No, you'd started.
Yeah, I've just started.
Want a cup of tea?
Yeah, I'd have a cup of tea, isn't that?
A chamomile?
Yeah, nice chamomile. Who likes a chamomile? I don't know if I'm getting old or something, but I like it. Feels like it calms me down in the night time. This light's a bit bright, isn't it? Oh, that's better.
We got some art today.
Oh, I've just done that whole thing.
Well, I wasn't here. Well, you saw it twice. Good for you.
Toff's in the house.
Evening, everybody.
Ellen O'Driscoll. Cookie Hunter, give it away. Ho, ho, ho. I'm very good, my friend. How are you, Cookie Hunter? Amy can't stay tonight because it's Panto. Oh, no, it isn't. I'll be back tomorrow. Ah, we'll miss you, Amy. We'll miss you. Celtic Vikings in the house. Got cream. That sign is manifestation. Yeah. Yeah, I guess it is. It's good to think in terms of how you want things to be rather than how they're not at the minute. Baron of Hell. Oh, and Monica's in the house. Hi, Monica. Hi, little lovely. Baron of Hell, have you ever done steroids? Yeah, I've been very open about my past steroid use. There's a couple of videos on my channel. So, yeah, I did quite a lot for quite a long time. I've been drug-free for 5 years. No, it's not even as long as that. About 4 years. Yeah. And so I can speak from experience of bodybuilding as a vegan, as a non-vegan, as a performance enhancing drug taker, and drug free, which I think gives me a good overview. And I know exactly, I'm not thinking, oh, you know, I don't wonder like what the effects are. I know for a fact what the effects are because I've been through all four, you know, things and like the permutations of each, like vegan, drug free, drug taking, and as a meat eater, and you know, so many people speak, you know, with such, you know, they speak as though they like know it all, but they've not been through it, and they just believe like what they're told, or you know, experience is a very valuable thing. And I certainly don't advocate drug use. I don't recommend it, and you know, I sort of regret taking them, except that I think that everything happens for a reason, and like even like my past of omnivorism. Now when I speak about bodybuilding, and you know, I just think people respect oftentimes my perspective, and that I have like genuine authority having actually been there. And you know, for instance, when I came to the gym one day and I said, oh, I'm vegan now, like no one wanted to ridicule me, you know, everyone was like interested, you know, I guess they thought, well, it must work or that guy wouldn't be doing it, and or like they were just, yeah, they didn't want to be cruel, they didn't want to cheat me.
Well, they were curious to see what happened to you if you did it. They wanted to watch and see. They thought, oh, let him try it and see what happens to him.
I think back then, like I was quite an alpha character, and like people probably would fear me getting angry if they were rude to me was part of it. You know, but the fact that I was big and strong and whatever, and then obviously that carried on, and in fact I only improved after going vegan. You know, the proof of the pudding is in the eating, isn't it? Miney, how are you today? I feel pretty bad due to eating some naughty food yesterday. I'll go back to my whole foods of myself tomorrow.
Aww.
Oh, don't be sorry to me. Yeah, we're good. I'm really good. You're having a great day, aren't you?
Yeah, the longer you eat clean, the more it affects you when you don't, which feels really unfair, doesn't it, when you see everyone else smashing all the bad things in, and you think, hey, you seem to be getting away with it, but they're actually not. Dr. Clapper said something when I was at the True North Health Clinic. He said, your body's never not looking, so you can't be like, hey, look over there, while you put in a donut, whatever. And that really stuck with me when he said that. I thought, yeah, that's really true. You're only cheating yourself, sort of thing.
Yeah. Feel free to thumb up the stream, guys. I won't mind if you do.
But we took years.
Yes?
We sort of took a few years to get to this stage where we're at, didn't we? We didn't just suddenly change everything and never slip up and have those other things. Like, it was like a journey, like a progression for us, wasn't it? We got cleaner and cleaner over time. And you're thinking about doing a video of like what you eat on Christmas Day, aren't you?
Yeah.
And like, I know you, and I wonder if in your mind you might be thinking, oh, should I be doing this because I'm not eating the best? Yeah. I'm like, you know, maybe, I don't know, having some nut cheese, or I'm having like some sparkling drink or whatever. Yeah. And you'll be thinking, oh, this isn't like the best I could be eating. But what I think it shows actually is that nobody has to be perfect, whatever that even means. Yeah. And if you do eat stuff that's not perfect, you can still choose stuff that's not damaging. Not so bad. That's still got it's got healthful things in it, and that's not got a load of terrible stuff. I think that'll be good for people to see, like, you know, what we consider to be not healthy now, and how the progression of how, because if you look back on Paul's channel, you can see what he's been eating over the years, really, and what he would eat like a couple of years ago, you wouldn't necessarily eat now, would you? So it's like a journey that you've been through. I just felt like I wanted to say those words. Yeah. Do with them what you will.
Just 1 second. I want to see that there's no trolling going on, because I think we are moderator free at the moment.
Would you like me to be the moderator?
Yeah, you can be.
Get my computer on the go.
Yeah. Actually, that's going to split the stream. It's probably not the best.
Okay.
I feel like Monica would make a good moderator. Would you like to be a moderator, Monicator? Oh, Ray Steve is in the house as well. Excellent. Good man.
You called?
Yeah. Good man. could do with 2 moderators. Don't feel obliged, Monica. Oh, you'd be there. Good. There you go. You're in. You're tagged in.
Tagged in.
Right. What were we saying? Bluefish Joe. Hi, I just watched the Geezer family's vlog. Nice. Oh, I've not seen that today. They're a lovely bunch, aren't they?
They certainly are.
Bluefish Joe. I like Earl Grey. Good choice. 9 cards. Hey Paul, what can I do to stop butt wink at the bottom of my squats? I used to squat in the past, but it caused my back to hurt. But I really want to start squatting again. So you know, you only need to go to like parallel with your quads, parallel to the floor. Obviously, deeper is better if you can do it healthfully, and it can be different causes. But one major one is tight hamstrings. Is that something? Could you be more supple in the hamstrings? What are you doing?
I'm trying something.
Oh.
Cal was playing with his toy in the background, and I thought that people might like to look.
You know you can just twist the JB.
Well, it's really fragile in the thing, so I didn't want it to fall out.
Oh.
So
Moni's into a green tea. Good choice. Bluefish Joe, what's a good time to visit England? 5 p.m. You don't want to come in the winter, I promise you. It's got to be summer, and then it might be raining. But it is a good place, so it is a beautiful place. Whereabouts are you, Bluefish Joe? Ah, autumn. Good choice. Alicia's in the house. Cookie Hunter, me. And my partner's made some vegan mashed potato with sausages and some vegan popping chicken. I've not heard of that. Dane's in the house. Hello from Germany. Thanks for the good recipes. You're very welcome, my friend. Thanks for joining us. Nathan, what's your thoughts on creatine? So, you know, we produce our own creatine. Taking supraphysiological doses for most people for a time gives benefit to sports performance. You hold more water in your muscle bellies, giving you more kind of power output. About 30% of people are non-responders to creatine. I'm one of them. It does nothing for me. The way to know is when you first get on the old creatine, over the first week or so, you should really put on, I don't know, for a sort of an average male, probably about 5 pounds or so. And then, if that's not happening, you're a non-responder, basically. And then you have to cycle it. So we put in exogenous, our body, you know, reaches homeostasis, it stops putting out endogenous. And so then we have to come off for a while. So your training will be a little bit like that. And, you know, I sort of am a fan of that slow, nice linear progression, well possible. But, you know, each their own. It does have some great stuff. Long term, like, is it healthful? There's no long term study, so you know it's not a whole food. So get in the frame, woman. What are you doing? Are you rank amateur? No, you're good. You're good people.
Well, I sort of thought
you're still not in the frame.
I thought people might like to watch Cowboy more than me because
yeah, Cowboy's there.
She's playing with her toy. And
what are you doing?
Sometimes I spray catnip on it on the ball inside her thing, and she goes crazy for it. She seems to be like in the mood to play with her toys. So. I know that people, I know that lovely vegans want to see animals, so here you go.
They're animal crackers.
Here's one of them.
Monica, it's been a while since I had crap food in my mouth, so I was pretty enlightening as I've realised. Never have been as good as whole foods. Yeah, that's that thing. The more whole foods you offer, the longer, the more of a detriment you'll feel. And then over time you won't want it, so it's cool.
Sometimes you have to sort of slip up and eat that stuff again to remind yourself how it makes you feel. Sometimes you need that. Like it helps you then to realise why you want to stay on track. You know, you experience what it does to you.
Manus in the house. Simon B is inviting a chicken round for a Christmas dinner. That's really kind of you to feed an animal. Very nice. What? good old race leaver. He never lets you down, I tell you.
I sort of thought for a minute that you were being serious, because I thought, well, that's the sort of thing a vegan would probably do. So
yeah. So we had that video, didn't we? Chickpea tuna mayo, and then we had a chicken
oh, he was eating
like
it.
eating with us.
Yeah.
That's nice. Nine card. Most creatine is made from human hair or duck feathers. I've never taken it or anything. That is branched chain amino acids you're thinking of. Most creatine by default is actually vegan, believe it or not. It's pharmaceutically produced. Bluefish Joe, how do I reply to someone's comment? So you can just put at and then their name. Oh, Monica's a brilliant model. Look, she's already on the case. Simon, are you guys radical vegans? So,
what does that mean?
What do you mean? I just don't want to cause unnecessary harm, which I think is the default setting for humans. Like, scientifically, we are a compassionate species. We've grown up in a society which deems it normal, natural and necessary to eat animals. I found out it is not. So I stopped eating animals because I realised I don't want to cause harm unless I, unless I can help it. It's been nothing but a boost to my sports performance. My training partner 2 years back was the reigning Mr. Universe, Barney Duplessis. He's doing better than ever as a vegan also. He's a vegan world champion, like strongmen. There's just no need. And actually, every time we eat animal products, I had an epiphany today when people say, oh, is it right to have a little bit of this and whatever? I had an epiphany, and my epiphany was, whole plant foods lead to positive health outcomes. Animal products, sugar, oil, salt lead to negative health outcomes. There's no such thing as dying of old age. We all die of disease. So do you want to fuel disease, or do you want to eat stuff that is anti-disease? And then, all comes down to that, really.
I feel like it's all perspectives, like if you're radical or like whatever.
Yeah.
And whenever you're going against the grain of society and the way things are, people will think that you are extreme or radical or whatever. But I think it takes like a brave person to stand up and say like, no, I don't like the way this is. And like, if you look at times when we had like there was such a thing as like slavery, or women didn't have the right to vote and all these things, the people that stood up and said, oh no, I'm against this, they were seen as radical in those times.
Yeah.
And I think now is just the time where we're seeing, oh, actually, the way we treat animals, they're like the slaves of this era, if that makes sense. How is it put more eloquently than that?
Yeah, no, that's good. And so they were welfarists back in the slave days. They were welfarists and they were abolitionists. So welfarists would say, oh, you shouldn't whip that slave so hard.
Yeah.
And welfarists said, well, you shouldn't really be exploiting those people.
Yeah.
And if you are down with the current paradigm of hurting animals, using them for, entertainment, eating their dead bodies, exploiting them, like making them work, like dragging you around or whatever, like a horse or whatever. Most probably, you would have been up for the slavery. Less than 1% of people opposed having slaves in America of whites. Less than 1%. It's about where we are with veganism. Maybe we may have surpassed that a little bit now in the West.
We are like sheep. We do follow the crowd and what is generally happening.
So do you think that not owning slaves is radical? And then, sexism used to be okay. Like, I know it's not 100% like solved. Some countries are better than others. Homophobia, like, that used to be fine in a lot of places. Kind of thing, and now more and more it's looked down upon, times change. And I saw a meme which says we have a duty to become more ethical than the society we were brought up in.
Well,
And I love that. Yeah.
when people think of vegan activists, they typically think, like I used to, of like people breaking into places and freeing the animals and all things like that, you know. That's not all that vegans do. Some vegans do that. But I just think if people are doing that, they care so much and they're so sick of no one doing anything, they just decide to take some action and like sort of, I don't know, I feel like what's wrong with that? I don't know, like it's like if you say to like the government or the police something, oh, there's some really bad things happening to animals in there, oh, let's do something about it, and then they're like, oh no, well, no, that's how it is, we're not going to do anything. What choice does it leave you, you know, other than to think, right, I'll look at ways that I can take action myself, you know? Sort of living in a world where not everyone's caught up yet with the realisation that cruelty to animals is never right, you know?
Yeah. I understand if people are still under the misconception that they think they need some nutrients from animals, which, by the way, they just get from the plants in the first place, you know. But as a whole, consciousness, people are waking up, consciousness is growing, and our circle of compassion is growing. You know, it will be a vegan paradigm, and I just say I'd rather be on the right side of history. You know. Yeah. Prince Fancy Bum.
That get you in the feels?
Nah, I'm well hard.
Okay.
Prince Fancy Bum's in the house. Seasons, greens, chickpeas. I like that. Tractor's in the house. What's up? Fish Joe is in LA. All the different seasons of them. Well, yeah, there's something to be said for that, isn't there? I bet there's. So, are you a vegan, gentleman, Bluefish Joe? And what is the vegan scene like there? I imagine it's pretty good in places. Oh. Monica's a brilliant little moderator. Oh, I'm a junk food vegan right now. I just became vegan after being vegetarian for a few months and need. Oh, now it's jumped.
Well, the animal.
I need the veggie, too many meat substitutes.
The animals don't care what you're eating as long as you're not eating them, so you've made the most important step. But if you want to feel your best, I guess you will say whole foods is the best way to live.
Yeah, exactly. You know, you're doing a great thing there, and you deserve to feel great and have a great, long, healthy, functional life. So
you do, yeah.
I invite you to try to slowly transition over. First name, last name's in the house. Manus, what supplements are you taking at the minute? So I use a protein powder. I like the Body Me vegan blend. I have a couple of scoops of that a day. Link in the description. I am an affiliate for those guys. B12, D3 because there's no sun, and a DHA, which is a real good fail-safe. I recommend that for everyone, really. And then just making sure I get a couple of sheets of nori seaweed in a day. Yeah. That is it. How about you guys? What supplements do you take? Flying card, I love to squat and deadlift more. I've started reading Strength by Mark Ribbletoe, but I'm still concerned I will injure myself with bad form. I don't trust normal GPTs to check my form. Yeah, you're good. You'd be better off with a sort of powerlifting coach or something like that, really. Good ad, Monica. Nathan, yeah, I always thought it was made in a lab, enough to do with animals unless they put in gelatin caps. Yeah, that's a good point. Steph's in the house. Manus, you still talking to Barney now? We've kind of lost touch, really. He went off to London to do tattooing.
Oh, I saw a photo on Instagram, I think it was, of a tattoo he did on Josie's arm.
Yeah.
Oh, it's beautiful.
Yeah.
I saw it and I really wanted it. It's loads of geometric stuff, but it's like layered. So there's like a sort of a layer of like colourful, a geometric pattern, and then on top of that, I think it's like a black sort of another geometric or like a sleeve of it. Oh,
Yeah.
that was beautiful.
Yeah.
Oh, let's say that I loved it.
Nice. I understand he's going to compete again, so that's very good.
Nice.
Leafish Joe. Also, I haven't got rid of my leather shoes and some wool hats to be part of the cash. Is the cash of my shoes and hats already bought? Should I get rid of them? I think that's like sort of personal decision, really. Like the harm is done, isn't it? At some point, like you may find yourself repulsed and think, "Well, this is like a corpse skin that I'm wearing." In which case you'll probably want to get shot. I've still got some leather boots and like they're wearing really well. I find it hard to get my size apart from anything else, not making excuses, but I'm a UK 13, which is like pretty big. So I struggle to get vegan boots, you know, and then it's costing the earth in terms of resources in order to make those. So I'm kind of adding to the burden. Then again, I could give them away or, you know, something like that. I sort of wish that I was repulsed by them. I think I've not really made the connection, particularly like I have with food. Obviously, I wouldn't buy like new or even second-hand like not non-vegan goods. But yeah, sort of several ways to look at that, really. Some people say, oh, you should wear them because it's disrespecting the animal. And my argument is the animal doesn't give two monkeys. And in fact, like if that was me and I have passed on and somehow I know someone's wearing my skin, I'd think, get off my skin. That's gross. You weirdo. Give me a proper burial. Hamit's in the house. Nathan, Paul is the most clean and pure bodybuilder I know. I like to think I've probably got maybe one of the very best diets of any bodybuilder in terms of health. The Stratford's in the house. The Jasic, love the channel and your views, etc. But in my opinion, people should eat what they choose and people should believe in what they like. So, live and let live is what you're saying. I totally agree with the live and let live bit. I guess my circle of compassion is just wider, where just the species that I identify with, and I think, oh, I wouldn't want that done for me, so we won't harm humans. But this other animal that's not human looks a bit different, so that's not me, so therefore we'll kick that to death or, you know, cook it up or ride around on it. So, you know, to me that just makes sense that they love, they fear, they feel pain. You know, why hurt them unnecessarily, you know, just because they don't look like us? That seems horrible to me.
Do you feel like veganism's kind of like a bit, it's really weird, it's like you hear it and it happened to us, like people just say it just clicked one day, and it's not necessarily that it's just that one thing or that happened or was said or they watched that day. I mean, it could be a series of seeds that got planted, but just one day all of a sudden it just clicks and it makes total sense. I
think it depends on your level of consciousness, so it's how you you can only perceive from that sized consciousness worth of intelligence.
Yeah. So what, like as we awaken a bit more spiritually, then, like you're saying, our circle of compassion expands, and we sort of get, because I look back now and I think, how did I ever not get it? But at that time, I I didn't. No matter, it wouldn't have mattered what anyone would have said to me. I wouldn't have got it. Like it. So it's hard sometimes to communicate to people about veganism, who clearly you can see don't get it and aren't anywhere near getting it. Can feel like they're so different, so far.
Yeah.
From where we are. It's just so strange. It just struck me really weird. Then I just suddenly thought, wow, like something just makes it click for people. Like one day it just suddenly happens.
You know, not so long ago, I would see a fish flapping around on the shore and think, oh, that looks funny. And now I see a fish thrashing desperately for its life.
Yeah. Suffocating.
You know.
I've seen some people fishing recently around by the river where I walk dogs, and they look like they're just sort of, they're like, to them they're enjoying it, they're like having fun, and I see them doing it, and I don't see them doing it for a meal. They're just doing it for like fun, and I stopped and stared at a couple of people the other day, not in a rude way, not like I was trying to make them intimidated. I was just looking at them, trying to work out like, what were they thinking? Like, why were they doing that? Like, what? Yeah, like, I just couldn't figure them out anymore. I just, you see it all the time, don't you? People doing that. But I was just looking at them, thinking, like, why are you doing that?
Good point. The tractor, about the activism stuff, do you think it's efficient to have processed outside slaughterhouses or other meat-related establishments? It could be time well spent focusing on educating the clients. So I think that we need all tactics, and that, you know, the animal saves, like, people film, they show that the animals turning up to the slaughterhouse, they're already covered in blood, they might have broken limbs, wings, you know, they're packed like crazy. You might see the fear, and the cows are like crying.
It's like meat your meat, isn't it?
Yeah.
People post that online, they're saying meat your meat, and then...
It did me good to just go the one time and to see it for myself. And like, it sounds stupid because obviously I get it, but it just made it so damn real. And like, it really did me good. And I think anyone, as long as they can cope with it, I think most people should go for the sake of it driving them.
And I agree with what you're saying about like talking to people is important, but if you actually look at a lot of these videos of people who go to these events, like Joey Carbstrong and things like that, they're actually talking to the police there. There's always police, and they just think, well, the police are the only people here, we'll talk to them. And they have some really good conversations with them.
Sometimes the police, you can see a tear in their eyes.
Because
and
the
like,
police can't go anywhere.
Sometimes they have to walk off because they...
Yeah. You know, if you talk to the
so
public,
upset.
if they don't want to listen or they've had enough, they can just go. But the police, they're there for the day or how long you're there for. So you can really tell them as much as you want. Like, I've seen some really good videos. So it actually seems like they're doing both things. They're bearing witness and they're talking to the public. So it seems good.
And then, like... and then just the fact that the numbers are growing, and so people can see, it's not just that one weirdo, that there's this whole group of people who are not happy with how it's going, and the more that grows, it just gets into people's consciousness, makes them start to think a little bit. And it opens up conversations, and the things, it's not just there and then, it's shared all over social media. You know, you've got the Animal Rights March, and we're just seeing that thousands and thousands more people are coming each time, and people can't ignore it. I see what you're saying, and I think that education is key. However, go up to someone in the street and try to talk about veganism. Oftentimes they won't be interested. But if you're, say you're doing Activism, like someone come over and say, "Oh, what are you doing?" and they've asked you, and now it's free reign to educate them. So
we've seen how powerful it is when we do the Cube of Truth in Norwich, and people are holding these big TV screens and they're showing footage of the animals, and that speaks in a way that words can't.
Yeah.
So people see that and it impacts.
Did you hear about that person took 15 seconds to go vegan at the last one?
Wow.
So get this, Cube of Truth in Norwich last time, someone basically watched 15 seconds worth of footage and said, "That's it, I'm vegan now." And they went and bought a round of vegan coffees for all the activists. 15 seconds flat.
That's made me totes emotion.
Yeah.
Oh.
It's like I say, if we saw it, like most of us, science says that we are compassionate by nature. You know, you get sociopaths, you get psychopaths, but most people with normal wiring, we wouldn't do that to an animal. So, when we see it, that's why, you know, that's why slaughterhouses aren't. You pick your own strawberries, you don't slaughter your own animals. They don't want us to see what's going on in slaughterhouses because most of us wouldn't have any part in it. Are you right, mate?
Yeah.
We're getting all emotional. Let's talk about something
Sometimes
else.
when you really think about these things, it can just get you really emotional, can't it?
Yeah.
When we did the last Cube of Truth, we saw a little bit of the footage at the start, and I couldn't hold it together for about the first half an hour or more.
Yeah.
Or maybe an hour. I was just thinking, oh, how am I going to manage this day because I'm so emotional? But
Yeah.
I don't know, you find the strength to pull it together, don't you? And just
Yeah.
think about why you're there, you know?
Can take a little while. Oh, Monica, you're the... Oh, what a mod she is.
Ah.
Lovely. Yeah, I thought that would be a good choice, and that proves it. Bluefish, Los Angeles is one of the best places in the world to be vegan. I live in a town called Eagle Rock. That sounds cool. And there are some vegan restaurants and a lot of vegan options at others. Very nice. Peter Thompson's in the house again. Yeah, if you want to check out his work, man, it's inked by Mr. Universe on the Instagrams. I'll be vegans in the house. Wishing you a very Merry Christmas. Mrs. and Mrs. Herbivore. Merry Christmas to you, my friend. Nice to see you again. Yeah.
Speaking of that, Christmas, when are we going to be streaming over Christmas? It's Christmas in 2 days. Did you know?
Oh! No, I didn't really know about it.
Well, we've got 2 more days.
Well, have I got a cup of tea?
Yep. So we've got the options to stream Saturday and Sunday, then Monday's Christmas.
That's when
I don't
Cowboy and
show
Rampy
that,
were
that's
younger.
Embarrassing.
What is it?
I don't know.
It's lovely. I want to try and do like an hour a day and sort of keep it up if we can. The subscribers is starting to creep up again now.
Okay.
So it's not all dropping off.
I don't think anyone's going to be around on Christmas Day.
Do you guys want us to stream over Christmas? Comment below. Manus, Hench and Gemma, what music are you into? For a long time, like hip hop, when it first really sort of came out, and then, you know, not so much the sort of newer stuff. Drum and bass, like particularly if I'm training, dubstep. You have quite eclectic tastes.
Do I? What does that mean?
You just like whatever.
Yeah, I like whatever. I've been enjoying some Coldplay lately, so it's a bit of everything.
Brummy vegans in the house. Why are you saying morning? You're just so avant-garde. Hello, my friend. How are you, buddy? Zach is in the house, but it's Aga. That's confusing.
Then he's saying, like, why haven't you unblocked me? So I don't know what that means.
Oh yeah, that was right. Yeah, you were annoying me somehow. I can't even remember. Can't remember what happened. What did you do to annoy me? I can't remember now.
He's not going to tell you, is he?
Anyway, welcome back. Money. Paul, I wanted to ask you, did the payment for your services come through? Oh yeah, so I meant ask Gemma and she didn't get back to me. Didn't the payment come through?
Yes.
Yes, thank you very much, my lovely. Bless you.
I'm in charge of the money.
I'm not allowed money.
You haven't got a bank account.
No.
You need one.
Bluefish Show, I really like you. You're really cool and super nice. Well, right back at you for saying that. Bless your heart. Brummy, I'm setting my pants watching you guys because it feels weird watching you in my work clothes.
Doesn't it feel weird
Brilliant.
watching us in your pants?
We're all friends here.
I like your honesty.
Zaka, would you have become a pro bodybuilder if you had an amazing genetics that would easily place you in the top 3 to promote veganism, if not for anything else? Yeah, I mean, I would have done it anyway. Like, I was just bonkers for bodybuilding back in the day. But, yeah. I'm thinking about considering this year, competing this year. I mean, sorry, next summer. Considering competing next summer, if not, definitely the following summer, just for the vegan thing. I mean, I don't know how I'll get on, but I'll just have a bloody good go. I'll be in the veterans, so
Veterans.
Is it called veterans? I think it is.
Is it really?
Old farts.
Oh dear.
I'll be 45 like next summer, and some people have said to me I do really well now, like because I guess there's not such competition, so we'll see. But, I was hoping to put a bit more mass on my biceps really before. Everything else I'm fairly pleased about. That one day click on called getting woke. Yeah, that's a good phrase. I like that. Zaka, what do you think of a radical nutrition approach to a whole foods plant-based diet? What do you mean? What do you mean?
Remember, you asked weird
yourself.
questions. That's what I remember now. You're building them up. You're like,
oh, that's right. Yeah, you were very bigoted about certain races and things. Yeah, if you do that again, you can.
We've remembered. We remembered what you did.
Thank you. Rusty, I used to kill spiders, now I catch them and put them outside. Yeah, like,
me too.
I think, yeah.
I cleaned this bedroom one day and I was going around all the skirting and like hoovering all the cobwebs, which I didn't want to do before because I didn't want to kill the spiders. And I was taking every spider out as I did it. What did I say I did? Like got out like
20?
20, yeah, something like 20.
You must have been that good going up and down the stairs
like
20
20
times.
spiders I was putting in a cup, putting them outside. It took me ages, but I just, you know, I didn't really mind the process because I knew I was saving those spiders, and before I would have just sucked them up in the hoover, and I just was thinking to myself, why did I used to do that? That's horrible. Yeah. But I did. I was speciesist.
You know, like, the less like us that someone is, yes. You know, if they're really small, what does that mean? If you go down to a molecular level, they're monstrous.
Yeah. So
it's all perspectives and.
It's easy for us to. That's why a lot of people I think are like pescatarian because they can't connect. They just
fish
can't,
don't scream.
They can't make that connection with the fish, can they? So that, you know, that's. Yeah.
Matthew Hill, do you think the world will ever turn vegan? If so, how long into the future? Yes, and I think last year I was saying 50 years, so 49 years. 49 years for a vegan world.
Nice.
Yasmin's in the house. Hi, lovely. Monica's she's really proven herself. Steph, I used to catch bugs and toss them into the egress. When I did a small spider that came up, it was I stopped in that window. Oh, Manus, favourite Star Wars character? Oh, good question. I feel like I should know this, but I can't think. Favourite Star Wars character? It was Boba Fett for a long time.
Which one's that?
Boba Fett, Jango Fett's son. So he took Captain Solo in Carbonite from the Empire in Cloud Sea.
Big blob?
Nah, he's a bounty hunter. He's got like that helmet, like Mandalorian armour with a rocket pack. It's just really cool. He says to Darth Vader, "He's no good to me dead." Just told him it. That takes some big old tentacles, like the ones in the Sarlacc pit that got him.
Big Star Wars fan.
Yeah, Boba Fett, I'm going to say. I sort of forgot because all the new films came out and like, who else is cool? Nah, Boba Fett. He was just self-assured. I like the extra scene in the re-release of Return of the Jedi. They just added a scene where a dancer's sort of looking at him. And he sort of walks over and sort of goes like that. He's just really cool. How about you guys? Anyone a Star Wars fan? Who's your favourite character? Hey, baby.
Sorry.
I just bore her with my. Just bore her with my amorous advances.
I'm just getting tired.
Bluefish Joe, there's a group in LA that meets on Sunday night. Where pigs in trucks come to the slaughterhouse and the pigs yeah. And even sometimes they process and see Yeah. Oh, maybe. Nice.
Well,
Yeah, it's just raising awareness. I get that, like, yeah, like Tractor was saying, definitely education is the way to go. But I think all avenues, just different ways, speak to different people, and I even appreciate, you know, the question normally comes up every night: what do you think of Vegan Gains? And you know, I don't like his sort of negative way sometimes he goes about things. I prefer to use a more positive, love-based approach. But he's happy to do it. Like, he can take like the flag and it don't bother him. And some people need a kick up the bum. So good on you, Richard. Thank you for your activism. Yasmin, nice video of your client Jeremy for how can one female work towards pull-ups. Thank you for that. Yeah, not so long ago, like I said, he couldn't do one pull-up, but he thought he'd never be able to do him. So my favourite protocol, I mean, build up some basic strength in a pull-down first, and then once you're getting towards your body weight, I like negatives. So basically, you step up, you get to the top of the movement, and then the slow negative, and then you step up, slow negative, and you basically do those until, you know, you're starting to lose control, at which point obviously you call it. Once you can do 10 negatives, look, you can probably do a positive. So that's my favourite protocol. You can use other things like bands, and like if you've got a assisted pull-up machine, which we do have in our gym, although that doesn't mimic the movement exactly because you're on a sort of lever rather than pulling yourself through space, but that's good as well. But yeah. You're welcome, the Tractor. Thank you for your questions, Russia. Romanus is Orf. See you later, my friend. It's nice that we can have different points of views and perspectives, and it's nice that we can share our own, and you know, sometimes someone shares their perspective and maybe they've looked at it in a way that we've not, and then we learn, or maybe we don't agree, but you know, we don't need to fall out. And it's great that we can have conversations, you know. It's important. It's the only way we grow, you know.
I think one part of really sort of awakening in a sort of a spiritual way is really understanding perspectives, and that we all have our unique one, and our perspective will be based on our beliefs, what we've learned, you know, for the whole of our life, like so many things, and that's unique to us, and nobody's going to share that same exact perspective as us, are they? We can try and use like empathy to understand where somebody is and try to, you know, see into their world, but we'll never exactly get it. Like, we can just sort of try. So it's no one's ever like right or wrong. We're all right to us, I think, in our own sort of ways, aren't we?
So many things that I thought were objective, like facts, which I found out were just like subjective and like were total fallacy. And now I think so anything except for veganism that I sort of believe in, I think, well, is that right? And sometimes I'll start to tell Gemma something from my perspective, and then I'll just stop and I'll say, oh, why am I telling you my perspective? Like, who am I? What I don't like is when people say this is this way, and like they're just so adamant and say it with such certitude, when what they mean to say is, from my perspective, I feel as though this may be, you know.
Yes.
I think with the more certitude sometimes some people say something with, the less, like, I sort of trust it in a way. Nathan, views on sentience. So is literally everything living sentient? Supposedly innocent movies are not vegan because they contain small insects. Something like that. Is that a thing?
Sentient. Well, there isn't sentience in like plants.
Yeah, so it's having a subjective experience, isn't it? And feeling pain and
having desires.
Yeah. So I sort of draw the line at animals. Yeah. Certainly small insects. Yeah. Yeah. And
insects in smoothies. Why would there be insects? Like if an occasional one got caught in there by accident when it was all the fruits are being harvested or blended up.
Yeah, I guess that's what that means.
I guess you could say that could be true of any like processed products.
Yeah.
I suppose. Or even like oats or like just anything, do you think?
Yeah.
So, I don't know.
Yeah.
I guess what would we eat if we sort of worried about that?
Yeah. I wouldn't give that any thought, really. On the push-ups are, to me, are a mystery. I'd love to know how to do that. Oh. We'll get you there, hon. We'll get you there. Nathan, my cousin, is a vegan tattooist. Cool. We saw a vegan. No, we didn't. We went to a tattooist who had
got vegan ink and stuff and that for us, but yeah, he was.
There was a vegan tattooist there, but we didn't get to see him.
I would not see him again though. I'd like to see someone different next time.
He was like something out of what was that show we used to watch before we were awake? Yeah.
Yeah, there was just like no emotion there. I was clearly like really nervous, and he just didn't sense that. He didn't say anything nice to me or to try and calm. If anything, he was just a bit rude, telling me to not clench because it was making my wrist funny or whatever. And I don't know. He just didn't have any warmth or compassion for me. Yeah, it was a really weird experience.
Your wife is cute. Why, yes, she is. Thank you for noticing.
Me? Oh,
yeah,
thank
you. Why do you think I'm with her? Where the hell are we? Yes, the Christmas stream. Show us your money. Show us your food.
I just wonder when people will be with their families and doing stuff.
Well, we'll see. We'll see what. There's one vote, and two. There's three.
Straight through to New Year's.
Zach, I wouldn't even know how to unblock you, to be honest.
I guess somewhere you'll have a list of people you've blocked.
I may have a go if I can find time. I struggle with time, having so many businesses and doing activism, and time is not on my side. Stream on Christmas, yeah. There's 4 or 5 votes there. Oh no, Lewis is starting again with his modding. I've got 4 mods already. Everyone will be a mod soon. And there'll be no rockers.
No, don't. Oh, well, thanks for saying my hair's nice. That's kind.
Jesper's in the house. Welcome. Lewis is up for a Christmas stream. Oh. Brummy vegan, the cats are used to me in my pants, and there's not a camera on the screen I'm watching you on. I've been doing a plank in my pants and inclined on the treadmill as I watch. Nice! You are getting well fit. Are you? Did you do the PT thing in the end? Are you doing that? Rusty's complaining about spiders being hard to see. Yeah, cats do tend to take care of the spider sitch. What?
It's because you nearly caught up with the question.
Yeah, but I mean, what Rusty just said. Where is it? Rusty Richardson, never seen Star Wars. What? How?
He's seen it enough times for
Maybe
everybody.
I've seen it too many times.
Yes.
Zach, I wasn't being bigoted really. You probably misunderstand. Now I understand plenty. Vegan gains may have turned more people vegan with those cycle videos than a ton of YouTubers combined. That's very true.
He has got a very big reach. Certainly has.
The track tribe turned vegan because of vegan gains.
Well.
And he also completely exposed the fitness industry. Yeah, that's a good thing that he does.
Yeah.
How do I silence this? Silence phone. Don't you know who I am? I'll do a fraction as much good as vegan gains, you know. Nathan Garioski is the one that turned loads of people vegan, I think. Yep, he sure has.
His greatest speech, whatever here is it called, whatever that was certainly one of the seeds that got planted for me for veganism, definitely.
Zaka, how would you feel about an armed extremist vegan organisation that started blowing up factory farms after releasing the animals and making sure that no one got hurt? That would be tricky to do.
I sort of feel, sort of an interesting question to debate, but I feel like these sorts of places would have insurance. It may just put them back a little bit, but they'll just then get the insurance money and build another one again. So I don't feel like it will actually stop anything.
We need to stop the demand rather than the supply.
Yeah, so I don't...
Good point. But yeah, no, I suppose it would do any harm, would it? In fact, I'd be up for it. Jesse's in the house. We just having our usual hijinks. How are we doing for time? Oh.
Yeah, the snack will be
We're almost there. Right, let's try and catch up.
We're having a casserole tonight.
Oh, nice. Nathan, my mum and brother have become vegetarian after me telling about veganism. They're getting their slow. They still eat eggs. Good that they're on the way. Awesome. I'm sure they'll get it. Yeah. Yes, we heard today that some vegans find it acceptable to them to eat insects such as in grub bars. We should take on this. So, well, they're not vegan. It's unnecessary suffering or exploitation, isn't it, to animals?
People use like the sort of argument that certain life forms maybe like don't have a central nervous system or whatever, they don't feel pain.
Yeah.
But my sort of argument to that really is, well,
they've got better things to do.
Yeah, you could just eat something else. It's as simple as that.
It's just really weird, isn't it? That people have to just make up these arguments. They're so desperate to eat something that lives.
If you're like
That's
dying,
weird.
It's a different argument. If there's no food, it comes down to different things. Then we don't even have to debate that because that's not what's happening. There's plenty of food. We're in abundance of food. We can eat whatever we want.
Monica's childhood mum, what the hell? And she seemed really intrigued. Nice. That has turned a few people vegan, that film.
I'm sure a lot.
I've seen that happen. Sebastian, how did you both meet? At a nightclub where we worked. I was a doorman and Gemma was... you did a couple of different things, didn't you?
Waitress, hostess, no, what you call, I don't know,
Coat,
stuff like that.
Coat wrangler.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We met there.
Yes.
We were very different people then to what we are now.
We were sort of the complete opposites of what we are now.
Yep. It's amazing to me that we've gone on this journey together where we've both completely changed.
Yeah. Sebastian, how... Oh, I said that. Bluefish Joe, have you had Beyond Meat? Their products are so tasty. No. I tried to avoid the whole process thing and... Oh, I mean, is that like got cholesterol and sort of terrible things and heme iron? I don't know if that's the one or the Impossible Burger, but yeah. And also, if it's meaty, I'd probably throw up. You know, having been vegan that long and sort of seeing it now as a corpse rather than as a food product.
I'm certainly glad that there's lots of really realistic substitutes out there now, so that people who still want to eat those sorts of things, you know, they have those available.
Far. Have a great weekend, guys, and a Merry Christmas. Keep fighting for justice and much love. Yeah, Merry Christmas, my friend. Thanks for that. Thanks for always dropping in. Happy New Year and all that BS. I didn't mean it.
When he's sort of asking you to sort of tell her when you want people to sort of be blocked, really.
Oh, just use your own initiative, Monica. I'm sure you'll make a good choice. I sort of try to give people a chance. Like sometimes it can seem like someone's a troll, but really like that may be a genuine question. And from our perspective, it seems, you know. So like give people 1 or 2 chances, maybe a bit of a warning. But as soon as you think that they're definitely,
but like
a
you know,
bell
we
end.
had someone the other day came in and said like, show us your beehole. Like.
In which case they should just go.
Yeah, they clearly like just a troll.
Anyway, I'm sure you'll do it. Great, hun. King Arugula is in the house. Abject profanity, racial slurs, deliberate spam. Yep. Good man. Where are we? Believe it, I just didn't understand why you guys talked about pants before we say underwear. Yeah. Also, Star Wars is often. Do you guys watch Stranger Things? Yeah.
I love it. I love.
We were gutted when we realised that we'd run out of seasons to watch.
We don't. Well, we went through a phase of not watching hardly anything. Now we watch a bit more like stuff to wind down, but like on Netflix and things like that. But I wonder what other shows are there that we don't know about that we could really love. Because we've really loved Rick and Morty and Stranger Things on Netflix.
I'm Pickle Rick!
And I'm in love with those shows. And now we've stuck with nothing else to watch. We've watched Rick and Morty 3 times round. And now I wonder, well, what else is there? If anyone knows of any really good shows they want to tell us about, please do. Because it's nice to have something new to chill out to.
Madam Bowen's in the house. Bluefish Geezer family inspired me to go vegan soon.
Yeah.
Nice. Very good.
Check on it.
Oh. Yeah, we'll smash that like button. Good man, King Arugula. Oh, Nellie's in the house. How are you, darling? Sorry I'm late to the party. Artist. Paul, what do you know on the vegan tattoo, please? So I think some inks used to contain animal products, particularly black. I think it was bone char, but I think like this getting to the point now where there's very little animal products in tattoo inks. It's petroleum jellies, not vegan. Is that the thing?
That's right. What they put on afterwards.
Yeah, so you want a vegan like after care. So like I think my one was called Hustle. Do it nicely where possible. At least Felicia's in the house. A lot of non-vegans feel that it's more expensive to go vegan, which sometimes I do agree. Large Chinese trophy there. Too much work and expensive. So I was listening to Rip Esselstyn on Rich Roll's podcast today, and he was saying one thing he says to people is, it's peasant food. You know, it's rice, it's, you know, you get sacks of dried beans for next to nothing. How much are bananas? How much is like frozen spinach? And these are the foods that give us the longest, happiest, healthiest lives.
Yeah.
So,
if you want to eat vegan alternatives, I agree that it can be expensive. At the minute, you know, like mock cheeses and meats and all those sorts of things, they can actually be pricey. So I see that they will. I foresee they'll come down in price a lot as more people go vegan. There's more competition then after lower prices. But yeah, if you eat whole foods, it is the cheapest foods.
yeah.
Yeah, meat and cheese is really expensive.
You know, the animals are eating these foods their whole lives, whereas we just need a fraction of that food. So it's got to be cheaper, hasn't it? Vegan Mama, hello, Paul. Will you be doing any more activism with Joey Carbstrong? I certainly hope so. We did invite him back over next year, and maybe we'll put him up when we have our own place. So that'd be good.
Yes, oats for breakfast. Oats are the cheap. Oats and like frozen berries, so cheap. The best breakfast. Yeah.
Angry Vegan, do you drink juice? I think fruit juice is not great for health. I think it would raise the risk for diabetes, and when we lose the fibre, a lot of the number one, we want the fibre, and then number two, some really good nutrients are attached to that fibre, like polyphenols, which really make the juice worth, or the fruit worth eating. So not really. The exceptions like greens juice, you know, and I wouldn't mind a little bit of apple in there just to sweeten it, or just have it straight. Carrot juice. I
meant to sweeten the greens.
Yeah, and I'm a fan of beetroot juice as well, especially pre-workout.
If we're out and we want like a drink or like a snack, we'd more buy like a carton or like whatever of a smoothie than a juice, wouldn't we?
Yeah. Yeah, smoothies are good. Pickle root. Bluefish Joe, have you heard that remix on YouTube by what is his name? I forget. Chinese dude. Anyway, look up Rick and Morty remix if you haven't. It's the top one. Yeah. It's the top one. Oh, it's so hilarious.
After you've watched that and then you watch the Rick and Morty intro normally, it doesn't sound good at all compared to that crazy.
Yeah, it's awesome.
Yeah.
I tell Gemma if she ever skips the intro,
we're done.
She's off.
You made that very clear.
Several times.
Every time we watch it.
Rusty Richardson's bigging up Better Call Saul.
We've seen that. That is good. Yeah, thank you. Yeah.
Always Sunny in Philadelphia. I've not seen that. Do you watch Steven Universe? No.
Steven Universe.
What did Jesse say? Because Monica said, "Oh, watch One Punch Man."
One Punch Man.
Remind me not to click off this, and maybe we'll investigate some of those.
Thank you.
Jesma, the transfer paper used for tattoos often isn't vegan. Wow. You can ask for a vegan transfer or make it. So we made it like abundantly clear to him, like
every
everything
stage
needed
of the process, everything.
Yeah, but I didn't know that. I wonder what's in that. Madam Bowen. Jumped. Come on, I'm trying to catch up here. That was the one. What about pure fruit? Oh, I was talking about that, wasn't I? Let's get swifty.
He samples that in there, the swifty thing.
Move to the left, step to the right, wiggle your elbows and look up into the light. Have you watched Black Mirror? Yeah, that's brilliant. And I think there's a new series, end of the month, is it? That was good. There's been a lot of trolls. I'm glad we've got some good mods on the scene. Madam Bowen, one of my favourite films is La Belle Verte, The Green Beautiful. Yeah, because I've had Verte lentils before. Not heard of that. Nelly, did you catch up with Vikings? Yeah, I've been so busy like with all this stuff that I've only watched the first episode, but man, was that an episode.
Over Christmas, when you've got some time off.
Yeah.
Have a real chill out and watch some Vikings.
Yeah, I'm going to catch up with that.
Yeah.
Race Vegan, hey guys, just started uploading some videos on my channel, just a few running videos so far. You can have a look, maybe subscribe, that would be great. Everyone jump over to there after the stream, which will be in a minute. Thunder Bay, personal trainers in the house, what's up? Oh my grassitarians.
Oh, so we're all up to date with the comments? Is that what
we're up to date. Beautiful, Green Beautiful could be found on YouTube. Muga Mama babysitting Jojo scene. I certainly hope so. That was a delight. He's brilliant. Right. Okay, we're going to sign off before any more questions come on. Thank you so much for joining. We love our little community. If anyone happens to be new here, if you want all the info on how to have the best physique, optimal health without harming animals or the planet, hit the subscribe button, click the bell icon so you're notified of new videos, new live streams. Live stream tomorrow from 7, and then what is tomorrow? Is it Saturday?
Yeah, and Sunday's Christmas Eve.
And so Saturday at 8, we've got a lovely recipe video for you, walnut and lentil loaf.
That you might want to make for Christmas.
Oh, it's delicious. It's so good, isn't it?
Yes.
We don't like to blow our own trumpets, but if we were supple enough to, we would. Thank you. It's good night from me.
And me.
And it's good night from him. Good night.